Gootecks. I'm from downtown LA, and in the fighting game community, I run Cross Counter TV. I'm one of the hosts with Mike Ross on Cross Counter Live, Excellent Adventures. We do events sometimes called bar fights. I came up in the world playing Third Strike. That's what I do. I started to make the transition from competing to producing content probably in 2009 after I won Sensation in February against Long Island Joe. I mean, basically it became pretty clear that in order to stay on top, it was gonna kind of require a lot more than maybe I wanted to really keep up. The other issue is that there's just, with the exception of the guy who is winning everything, back then, like if you weren't getting first place every single time, like it didn't really seem like you were going to be making a full-time living, right? So it seemed more lucrative to focus on the business end and focus on producing content and events and stuff. And the other thing was too, it's like there's like this many people that can play competitively, and there's like this many people, I think, that can do things that are similar to what I do. I guess it really just comes down to like, you know, like, I guess what I really wanted to do. I mean, of course, like when I was playing heavily, and it's different too because like now I'm like a little bit older, so it's not really the same thing. Like I can't really just, I guess it's different because a lot of these guys are my age too, and they just kind of, you know, they're just sitting around playing all day, but I don't know, things just started to change like over time because it's like if I have to worry about, you know, like running cross counter and like being on the shows and everything, and it's like I don't really have as much time to play, and as a competitor, it bothers me when I lose, especially when I think like, oh, well, if I was focusing and giving my all on this, like I'd be beating this guy for free. So that really bothers me as a competitor. So sometimes, like this year, like this is the first EVO that like I didn't even try to enter. So I mean that kind of sucks in a way, especially when I saw some of the people that made it out of their bracket and winners. I was like, oh man, I should have just played this year. But I don't know, who knows? I mean, the other issue is that I just don't really find the game. I don't play Marvel because like I never really learned how to play. So it's different, and I mean with Street Fighter, it's just not as interesting. And every time I play, I'm just like, wow, like maybe I should just play better or different characters the whole time. So I guess the evolution of cross counter, a lot of it has stemmed from like the stuff that I was doing before we were doing the shows. I mean, when it was just me and I was doing Gootecks.com, like I was putting out audio strategy guides, right? So basically, the goal with cross counter and all this stuff has been to create multiple revenue streams that kind of add up to, you know, the bigger picture, to something that's substantial, right? So, I mean, I'm not gonna say that like we planned on doing a live talk show because like that was not the plan at the beginning. But I mean, doing things like selling digital downloads, whether it's training videos or event coverage videos like bar fights or ECT grudge matches or Canada Cup. Yeah, I mean, that was part of the original vision because ultimately, like, what we try to do with the YouTube content, in my mind, it's all just customer acquisition, you know, like we're just driving traffic, and it's just sales and conversion rates and percentages and visits and hits and all those things. So in a way, yeah, it's all just kind of the natural evolution of things to kind of drive people. Like, you know, before when it was just Gootecks.com, like I would send traffic to, you know, like Mad Cat sticks, you know, and now it's like we just kind of do like a slightly more evolved version of that, you know, with like the commercials that we do. So, you know, it's not like, and I mean, ultimately now I guess we're kind of like moving into different areas, you know, we're starting to dabble in music and stuff. So, I mean, we're trying to take the same model because it's basically like a formula that we've kind of been working on with, you know, with Cross Counter, right? We put out the free content, you send traffic to stuff that is going to make you money, you know, commissions on products through affiliate marketing or, you know, selling, you know, products. In this case, yeah, they're like digital products because it's all automated. Because ultimately, like, if you can't automate it, what's the point of doing it? So EVO has grown and changed in a lot of ways over the years. I mean, first of all, like at the beginning, at least when I first started going, it was held at Cal Poly Pomona back in California, which is a university. Now we're here in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace here in this big, huge ballroom. So it's definitely grown. I mean, I think before you had like 1,000 people show up. Now I'm pretty sure we have like 5,000 people. So over the past, what, like 9 years, it's kind of, increased, what, like 5 times over. Some of the other changes, aside from the fact that there's just way more people here, is the vendors. Like now there's actual sponsors. I mean, now, back in the day, in the dark ages, Capcom really, they didn't care about what, about the competitive scene. But now it's gotten so large that it's basically undeniable and they can't ignore it, so now they're a part of it. So they sponsor the tournament. I believe they're providing prize money. They have a panel. They have the Capcom guys, demoing stuff or whatever. You have Mad Cats. You have all these different companies that just simply weren't around before. So that's one of the ways that things have changed. One of the other ways is the players. Like now you have not just the players, now you also have like the fans and the spectators and the stream. Streaming and YouTube has definitely contributed a lot to the growth of everything. Because before it was just, a bunch of dudes just sitting around, or not sitting around, but just a bunch of guys that were only here to play. And it was also a lot more, you could say, hostile or kind of edgy in a way. Now, everybody's really friendly, dudes hug each other after the match. So that's kind of a change in the culture. Before it was definitely a lot more, it was a competition, and the other thing is most people were a lot younger. I mean, back in 2003, right, I was, a little over 20, right? So, everybody was a lot, it was like, oh, this is what we did, because we're like young, angry men, but now it's like, dude, with console makes everybody into BFFs. So a lot of that competition, I think, is kind of gone. A lot of the drama is gone as well. The stream has also kind of changed a lot of the stream has changed everything, really, because now, you don't have to come to EVO. You can watch at home, but now it's not as though like other people aren't coming because they can watch it at home. Now, if anything, I think it grows the entire audience. It grows the community. So that's a huge change, especially now with the level of production that Team Spooky and I Play Winter have achieved this year with upgraded equipment and streaming technology and everything. It's really now starting to, well, not starting to, it already is. I mean, it's already like a broadcast level, like a TV quality broadcast in my opinion, So it's been a lot of change, a lot of evolution, if you will, at EVO in the past, decade or so. So, we'll see what the next 10 years brings.